Good afternoon. Welcome to my brief audio presentation, which is supposed to be within approximately 3 minutes, definitely not 4 minutes. So this is a challenge. The views expressed do not express the views of my employer, the Canadian Bible Society. I'm using Canadian Bible Society Bible that I received from their warehouse that was defective, thanks to the warehouse manager. It's actually published by the American Bible Society out of New York. It's Holy Bible, New American Standard Bible, updated edition. I've been pondering on, in personal and work contexts, Matthew 18. Matthew 18 from this scripture, verses 15 to 17. If your brother sins, go and show him his fault in private. If he listens to you, you have won your brother. But if he does not listen to you, take one or two more with you, so that by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every fact may be confirmed. If he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. And if he refuses to listen even to the church, let him to be you as a Gentile and tax collector. And the next couple of verses, such as 18, 19, talk about how things bound on earth shall be bound in heaven, and there's a debate on that. I listened to one pastor at Northview that thought that was the church given the authority to bind decisions by God. The church in particular, whereas other people reason that it's simply 2 or more Christians binding a decision, whereas this pastor reasoned it was in the context of church leadership. So that's a debate. Back to the main thing I want to talk about. I have a friend that was saying that, in his opinion, many Christians aren't very mature in the Western world, and I agree. They have a view that their sins are forgiven, they believe in the atonement and the resurrection, but because they're not very biblical, because they're not very theological, things really don't impact them properly. I have another friend at church, and he was saying that often people just do not apply Matthew 18. So how does Matthew 18 apply? Well, for example, someone recently has been shunning me, in my opinion, but that shouldn't be done. If someone has an issue with me, they should approach me with it via Matthew 18 and to see if we can work it out. If not, with me, if I'm sinning more, then go to the authorities in the church or the context of work or our circle of friends or whatever in the church and have me dealt with. But to shun me is not the answer. Another incorrect way to deal with supposed sin against a person is to get angry and yell and scream at someone or abuse someone. Again, that's not the answer. If someone reasons, for example, that I'm not doing something right, yelling at me is not the answer. Deal with me in private. So recently someone was rather abusive to me and yelling, and I spoke to them, but they just kind of blew it off and ignored it as if I didn't have a valid opinion. So then I went to a senior pastor in a context, and then I went to the person that was running what we were doing as a group, as an organization, and the last day this person finally mellowed. So in short, based on Matthew 18, if one reasons that a person has sinned against them, the person should be dealt with directly. And this risks that the person that thinks they're offended or reasons they're offended may be wrong in some ways. So this is a risk, but it should be taken.